joining my short but sweet little yin sequence. So the next few poses that we'll be doing is focusing on the hips and the lower back. So it's a nice sequence to do during winter. Focuses a lot on the kidney area, replenishes and restores the kidneys. And yeah, so what you will need for the next little while is a watch so that you can time yourself. We're going to be spending about 3 minutes in each pose. And then maybe a scarf or a sarong that you can put over yourself so that you're not being cold. You can also see that I'm wearing socks. It's very helpful. I've also got a blanket covering my mat. That's really helpful to stay warm because we're so close to the ground. And especially if you've got a concrete floor, it might be very helpful to have a blanket just to stay warm. And then I've got a pillow. I'm improvising a little bit as I don't have a bolster at the moment. So I'll be using the pillow for at least one of the poses. Okay, but before we start, I think let's just center ourselves a little bit. So just finding a comfortable seat, closing your eyes, and just resting your hands somewhere where the shoulders can rest. Whether it's on your knees, in your lap. So in Yin Yoga, the left side of the body is the Yin side of the body. So if you've got your hands in your lap, you might want to keep the left hand on top of the right this time. Taking a few deep breaths just to settle yourself. Sighing it out is a beautiful way of releasing tension and stress in the body. Maybe one more like that. And just returning to your normal breath. Taking a moment to ground your seat bones into the floor, into your mat. Feel how the shoulders can keep on softening and the belly can soften. Letting your face soften, brow, muscles around the eyes, jaw, and just feeling what it is to be you in physical form right now. Try not to look for anything in particular. Try not to judge, compare yourself to anyone or anything else, but just feeling sensations. Noticing. And then because we are focusing on the kidney area, the lower back and the hips, spending a little bit more time exploring the lower back, exploring the hip joints, thighs, feeling the contact that these areas are making with your mat. Really looking for sensations, or rather being open for sensations in these areas. And whatever you discover, just taking stock, taking note of it. Perhaps taking a moment to set an intention for your practice before we start. And once you got your intention, bringing hands to heart center, bowing for yourself, for this practice, sealing your intention. And opening the eyes, finding your first position, which is our butterfly. So the foot soles are going to come together. Make sure you got your watch close by. Prefer to have it between my legs as I'm going to be folding forward, so that's a good place to keep it. Taking note of what the time is as you enter the position. Checking that you got a nice wide diamond shape between your feet and your upper body. And your options are to maybe stay here and just hold the hands gently resting on the shins, and you can drop your head down. This is especially good if your hips are quite tight. If you're feeling more relaxed in the hips, you can start to fold yourself further forward. Maybe the palms can face up as you fold down. And you're just letting your head be heavy. You're letting your belly soften. Every part of your body becomes super soft and heavy. You're just folding in towards yourself. We are about halfway. Maybe you're noticing that there's a little bit more space for you to fold, a little bit softer over yourself, over your legs. Maybe you can soften your face and your jaw again, your shoulders, your lower belly. Scanning through your body here, noticing if you're holding tension somewhere, if you're bracing somewhere. And see if you can soften a little bit more just for the last minute. And slowly starting to untangle yourself, unravel yourself, coming back up into a neutral spine, and just allowing your spine to settle for a moment before we move into the next posture. So this is a beautiful practice to keep your eyes closed as much as you want to. It invites you to draw yourself inwards a little bit more contemplative, not getting distracted by the things around you. So for our next one, we're going to find our half dragonfly. So the right leg is going to extend out to the side. We're going to bring the left leg in towards the right thigh. It doesn't have to connect here. You can have a little bit of space for yourself. And then we'll sit so that we are with the right hip as much as possible towards the right thigh. Something that really helps here is to make sure you're not sitting on your tailbone. If you're sitting on your tailbone, it's very difficult to go into a side stretch. So make sure you're sitting on your seat bones. You can even sit on a block or your pillow here. I'm going to demonstrate. So just to get the hips up a little bit more, it helps to get that little bit of a forward tilt that we're looking for in our seated positions. So once you've got that, your right elbow is going to be resting on your right thigh. You're resting your head in your right hand. Make sure you got your watch close by first. Right hand is holding the head. Left hand can just be resting on the left thigh. If you're wanting a little bit more of an opening in the chest, you might want to wrap that left arm around your lower back and just let it be there. So what you're looking for now is a gentle but firm stretch over the left kidney area. Bit of a crunch on the right side, right hip, and then a softening in the rest of the body. And again, we're going to be sitting here for about 3 minutes. So you might want to close your eyes again. And just notice, especially if it's your first time doing yin, just noticing the fluctuation of the mind, the sensations in the body, emotions. We tend to go through a whole range of different thoughts and emotions and sensations during just one yin pose. But instead of getting all hooked up on certain things that bubbles up, we try to just watch it, see it, try not to attach anything to it, try not to make it good or bad. Letting it be. We are more than halfway. And soften your belly again. Keep softening in the chest. Softening in the face. Very gently, slowly unraveling, releasing that left hand first, pushing yourself back up to a neutral spine, giving yourself a moment here, just letting the spine settle. And then when you're ready, we'll go to the other side. So just making sure that you're giving yourself time in the transitions as well. You can always pause the video and then start it again once you feel ready. Transitions are in yin just as much part of the practice as the poses themselves, so just keep that in mind. Left elbow, left thigh, resting your head, that left palm. Maybe the right hand wraps around again. And again, we're looking for that gentle little stretch over the right kidney, crunch in the left side. Noticing if you're flexing your left leg, you're tensing up in the left leg, and see if you can soften into that leg. Soften into the chest, the belly, the face. And again, distractions, form of thoughts, noises, sensations will come and go. Just taking note of it and then letting it go. Letting it be. If you're experiencing discomfort in any of the postures, just noticing if it's discomfort or pain. It's quite a big difference knowing that if anything feels painful coming out of it, and see if you can adjust yourself so that it feels okay. Modify your posture, maybe holding it shorter. Do what you need to do. And last few moments here. Gently bringing yourself back up to a neutral spine. And we'll just find a full dragonfly just for a minute before we end off our practice. So full dragonfly, finding a straddle. Again, if you have a tendency to sit on your tailbone, find something to alleviate the hips a little bit. Take some of the pressure of the lower back. I think it's called elevate rather, sorry guys. Elevate your hips, yes. And then once you're ready, you can either just sit here, left palm on top of the right, you can drop your head down if that feels enough for you, or you can go into a forward fold. I like to use my bolster here, or my pillow, and it's just for a minute. So you can go folding over if you've got space to fold onto your bolster like that, or you might just want to use it to rest your elbows on. If you've got blocks or big books, that can also work really well. So as you're closing your eyes again, you're just softening into your face, into your belly, starting to notice where the sensations are. And just another 30 seconds, noticing, exploring, and curious. And slowly coming back up. And when we'll end off today with a supported child's pose, and I'll use my bolster again. Before I go there, I want to thank you for joining me for this short little sequence. Child's pose that we're ending off with, you can hold as long as you want to, but I would suggest at least 3 minutes, and then you just finish off your practice the way you see fit. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.